Good evening again, Internet. It's time for the 8th in our series of videos, and in this one, having learned our big 5 chords of C, G, D, A and E, we're going to be turning our attention to the picking hand and learning a couple of new strumming patterns. Now, the 3 that we've learnt so far have been the whole note or semi-brief, which is a note worth 4 beats. We've then used the half note or minim, which is a note worth 2 beats, and the quarter note or crotchet, which is a note worth 1 beat. So as you can see, we're halving the value of beats each time. So it will come as no surprise to learn that our next rhythm, the quaver or 8th note, is worth half a beat. So I'm going to take an E chord here, and with the aid of the drums I'm going to demonstrate the difference between crotchets and quavers. So here I am playing crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just clean that sound up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to switch to quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Quavers. 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So I'm playing 2 notes per beat. I'm dividing the beat up into 2 halves. The first half, where your foot taps down, is the down beat. And the second half, where the foot taps comes up or off the floor, that's what's called the up or off beat. It is terribly technical, I'm aware, but I'm fairly certain you can handle it. Now, it's really important, certainly in the early days, to have your strumming hand follow your foot. Tap your foot because, as we discussed, your foot is your natural internal metronome. It's a natural reaction when you hear music to tap your foot to it. So your foot will naturally move up and down. So have your hand, your strumming hand, follow the motion of your foot. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and... Stay relaxed and try and channel that rhythm through the whole of your body. Okay, next thing we're going to try and do is learn a couple of little chord sequences. Now, the first chord sequence we're going to do involves 3 bars of A, 4 of E, and returning to a bar of A again before we start over. You may recognise this chord sequence from such country and western classics as Achy Breaky Heart, amongst others. But what we're going to try first is just make sure that we can change comfortably between A and E. So go around the chords as arpeggios first, and make sure that your fret hand knows exactly what it's doing, so that you can then turn all your concentration to the pick hand. So once you can cleanly play the arpeggios, we'll try a little primer exercise, playing a bar of A to a bar of E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Once you can play that cleanly and consistently, we'll try playing through the song itself. Now, the chord sequence itself is fairly straightforward, but it can also be a little bit deceptive. 3 bars of A, 4 of E and 1 bar of A. It can be a little bit complicated to actually play that in practice, so what I find the best thing to do is to try and mentally divide it into 2 halves. 3 bars of A and a bar of E, followed by 3 bars of E and a bar of A. So when we put that all together, it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now, the tricky part comes when you're repeating it, so that's when you're going to need to really concentrate. If you find that this concept of being tripped up by the same chord starting and ending the chord sequence, don't worry. That tripped me up, it's tripped up everyone I've taught, and nobody ever seems to discuss it. So that's why we're going to tack it head on now. Okay, once you've been through the chord sequence a couple of times and you've paused me and got these chords perfected, let's cue up the backing track and let's play it. could have had that queued up beforehand, couldn't I? Oh well, novice YouTuber. Here we go then. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And repeat. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so hopefully you've taken a little bit of time to practice that. Obviously you can slow this video down, you can pause me, you can spin me around, you can do whatever you like. Just make sure you've got your chords nice and clean and consistent and you're playing it well without any gaps between chords. You want to make sure that you're practicing good habits, not bad ones. Our second chord sequence adds in a third chord, so here we're going to need A, E, D and A. So as before, try around these chords as arpeggios. Make sure you can play them cleanly. And now I'll just demonstrate them all played with eighth notes. Again, notice the fact that we've got 2 bars of A to start and 2 bars of A to finish. So what you're going to need to do is imagine at the end of the final 2 bars of A great big red mental reset button that sends you all the way back to the start. That's the best mental image I can think of to try and keep you from getting lost. Right, so this is what we should sound like. And now I'm going to repeat. So there we've got a fairly good generic chord sequence. It's used in a lot of pop and rock songs. The first one that comes to mind is Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. So now, let's put the backing track on and give it a whirl. Okay, I'll leave you with those to practice, and don't forget you can get all the backing tracks and sheet music contained within my book, 0 Point Guitar Tuition, 0 Point Guitar rather, which is available from Amazon and Lulu and various other places. Still a fair bit to go, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned, then I'll see you in the next one. Thanks Internet, take care.